Hey y'all, Matt here from RetroOnly.com. Today I'm going to be talking again about the Nintendo Switch. More specifically today I'm going to be talking about Switch games and even more specifically used Switch games. Now obviously if you have a Switch or you've looked into a Switch at all, you know that games can be incredibly expensive. And sometimes even used games can be really expensive as well. So a lot of people will try to save money by buying the Switch new and just buying their games used from places like yard sales, eBay, Craigslist, all those sorts of things. But then the question comes up whether that is safe to do or not. So that's what I'm going to be covering in today's video. Before I hop into that, please be sure to hit that like button and then also subscribe to our channel. It really does help us out a lot and also allows other people to see these videos and get their questions answered as well. So let's go ahead and hop into whether you can buy used Switch games safely or not. When you're buying Switch games used, there's really two main things that you have to watch out for. One of those is far more likely than the other. However, neither of them are going to happen that often. So in general, buying used Switch games is safe. But again, I want to mention these two possible issues that you could run into, even though they're going to be quite rare. The first one that I'm going to mention does happen more often than the second, and that one is label switching. Now, when I'm talking about label switching, I am talking about the labels on the actual game cartridges being swapped out. And you especially have to watch out for this if you're buying locally from places like Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, those sorts of things. And especially when it doesn't come with a case. If someone's just selling a used cartridge. What they will do is they will either cover up or take off the cartridge on a cheaper game, say this Rayman game, and then they will sell it as being a Yoshi game, or as being Super Mario, or as being some other high dollar game. So let's say, for example, I am able to purchase this Rayman game on Amazon for right now between $15 and $20. If I'm dishonest, I could create a label, either cover this one up or take this one off entirely, put a fake label on top, and then I'm going to say that this is Super Mario Brothers, or I'm going to say this is Super Smash Brothers, or I'm going to say that it is another high value item, and so I'm going to spend $15 even buying it new off Amazon, and then I'm going to sell it as one of those higher dollar ones, and I'm going to sell it for $40 or $45 or even $50, and then you as the consumer or you as the buyer get scammed if you don't test it. And that's the way to get around this possible issue with buying used games. That's simply to take your Switch and test out the cartridge. If you're buying it used, you're going to someone's house, maybe you're meeting them in a third location, says at Walmart or a McDonald's or something, take your Switch. Take your Switch with you. Pop this in and test it out. Make sure that it works. Make sure that it functions properly. That's the first one, and that one is more likely than any of the other. The second reason, just simply because this is easier to do. The second thing that I want to mention in regards to buying used Switch games is the fact that you could run into a hacker that has taken the game, downloaded it onto their Switch or onto an SD card, and then are playing it on their Switch and sell you the cartridge. Now, this is far less likely as it requires a lot of specialized software, a lot of knowledge, so it's not something you're going to run into every day. It does happen though, so that's why I did want to mention it. It's very, very rare that that will happen, but what will happen is Nintendo will pick up that this cartridge, the specific information on the cartridge, is being played on your console and on another console. And so what they'll do is they will ban both of them from being able to access Nintendo's online services. You'll still have access to that game, however, you'll lose any access to the Nintendo eShop, you'll lose access to playing on Nintendo Switch Online, those sorts of things. So that is something to be aware of, however, it's very, very rare that that would happen and that you would run across someone in the wild who's done those sorts of things. A lot of places where you buy, if you buy used on eBay or on Amazon, you really don't have to worry about that because you have eBay and Amazon backing you up if you have an issue. If you pay with your credit card, with your debit card, or with PayPal and those sorts of places, they will back you up as the buyer if something goes wrong. So that's rare that it happens. You shouldn't have to worry about that too much. Now, if you go to Google and you search, is it safe to buy Nintendo Switch games used? That's going to be the first issue that comes up, but it's super, super rare. So it can be an issue. I did want to mention it here, but the likelihood of you running into that when you're buying, even on places like Craigslist and those sorts of things, not going to happen too terribly often. So you should be safe buying used Switch games outside of these two rare possibilities. Overall, buying Switch games is absolutely safe. You just have to be aware of those two possible issues, and again, they're rare, but it is something that you should be careful of. That's why I always suggest when you're buying locally, take your Switch with you so you can test it. If you're buying online, only buy from reputable sites or only pay with methods that you can get back. For example, I wouldn't use a wire transfer or send a check or something like that to a place that I've never used before. You pay with your credit card or your debit card anywhere online, you don't get it, or what you get is not what you ordered, you can file chargebacks on those and get your money back. So you're safe in general buying used Switch games, either online or off, as long as you do your due diligence. Check them out if you're buying them locally, or make sure to check them out if you purchase them online. Check them out within a reasonable period of time, so that way you can deal with any issues that do arise. Again, my name is Matt. I'm from RetroOnly.com. Hope that this video has been helpful to you in regards to your Switch, buying Switch games used. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, and then please remember to hit that like button and then also subscribe to our channel. Have a great rest of your day.